Okay, so we're going to be doing an updated version of this because I think the last time we did this was 4 months ago. I think it was 4 months ago, but we're going to talk about the characters you should build for fast progression for new players and veteran players. I actually got this idea from another content creator, a friend named Amazing Grand Cross. I did let him know I was taking this video for my community, so thank you in advance. But yeah, I think this is gonna be a very nice video for a lot of you guys, because a lot of you guys probably don't know what exact characters to build. You guys probably know like the best characters, but then it's like some of these characters are the best characters in the game because of like something that like puts them up there. For example, in Alice's case, what makes her good is the investment you have to give into her. And obviously as a newer player, you're not gonna be seeing that. As a veteran player, you might have already seen it. You're probably still working on that. I'm not sure, right? So there's characters who are up there, but they're only up there because of certain things. And I don't feel like that's like, you guys are aware of that thing, right? You guys are aware of that. So I'm gonna talk about characters you should build and all that stuff. I am gonna now include limiteds in this as well, since limiteds can rerun. We know that for a fact. So yeah, first off, I guess let's start off with Privity, right? Privity is a free-to-play character that everybody gets from the day-by-day mission event. I believe even though I don't have it here, I'm sure I can still show you guys what that looks like. It's somewhere here. I think I can show you guys what the day-by-day notice. I guess not, right? But there's a day-by-day, events right here. And then day-by-day. This, if you go to events and you go to day-by-day, when you complete 70 missions, you get a free copy of Privity. This should be your first character you should be building right after your reroll character or whatever like that, right? And I haven't done an updated reroll guide video yet, so I guess I'm gonna have to mention that in this video as well. But this character Privity, this is a skin. This is a skin. If you're wondering where this outfit comes from, it's a skin. You cannot get it no more. But Privity is honestly one of the best characters in the game. I would say probably top 15, top 20 for sure. She's a character that you just need to use, right? She's a character who works on almost every single team, even for teams that like require you to have a lot of bullets, right? Even though she does lower max ammo capacity, she does increase reload speed by a big amount, and she does also increase attack percent by a big amount, so you're still like gonna perform like crazy with this character on the team, right? It's surprising that she's free. If she wasn't free, bro, I don't know, but her being free is like the greatest thing Nikke has done, right? Literally, her being a free character is the greatest thing Nikke has done. So I would highly recommend to build up Privity. All you got to do is really level up her skills. In terms of the cubes, I usually give her resilience cube. In terms of equipment, you don't really necessarily need to give her overload gear because she doesn't necessarily need it, but if you want to, by all means, but just level up her skills and give her decent enough attack gear. That's really it, right? She's gonna be one of the more useful units in the game as well, knowing that her burst skill actually has a stun, right? That stun for 3 seconds really does come in handy. So Privity is definitely a character you want to build. Now I'm gonna talk in a sense where people have pulled these characters. So if you haven't pulled these characters, until you pull this character, this does not matter to you. Red Hood, if you do not own Red Hood, this does not matter to you until you pull her. But Red Hood, you definitely want to invest into Red Hood. She's the best character in the game right now. It's just common sense that you would want to invest into or you would want to build and invest into the best character in the game. I think that's just a given. This character is the most helpful character in the game, knowing that she has a burst of 1, 2, and 3, right? So you can use her in any burst, and if you're like missing a slot there, she's gonna do very well in each of those slots, especially early on for newer players. For veteran players, you already know she's gonna go crazy, but for newer players, this character is definitely gonna stab. This should be your #1 main reroll target. There's no question. There's no character you should be targeting #1 before Red Hood, right? So if you want the perfect reroll, it's literally just Red Hood. If you can get Red Hood, you'll be in the game, right? You can still reroll for characters like Scarlet and Modernia, which we're gonna talk about, but Red Hood is the character you want to reroll for, right? If you are going to reroll, you want to get her levels up as high as possible. If you are going to be giving her overload gear, which I highly recommend you do, you're going to want to focus on that attack percent, charge speed, or not charge speed, charge damage. No. You're going to want charge speed, you're going to want attack percent, and you're also going to want, it's really up to you for that last one, but you can give it charge damage, you can give it max ammo. It's really up to you. I don't really necessarily see the value of max ammo, but I like, as you guys see here, I have more of the elemental damage, charge speed, right? It's really up to you. I would definitely say attack percent and charge speed though. for sure, just because of how her kit works. That last one is really up to you between elemental damage, crit damage, crit rate, charge damage. It's really up to you for that last one, but you definitely want to get this character 1 million quadrillion billion percent. If you're playing while this video is being recorded and being uploaded, right now the current banner and for the next 2 weeks is going to be Lilla. Honestly, I would highly recommend you do get this character and invest into her. I think as of right now, at the time of the recording, and she is a limited character, but at the time of the recording, this is probably the closest thing you can get to actually like having insane pilgrim, right? Or essentially re-rolling for a character that like is very good, right? This is just another version of Modernia, essentially. I would say a better version of Summer Anise, and I do want to do that video as well. Who's the better limited in the game, Summer Anise or Privity or Lilla? Which I will have later on out, right, to fully confirm with you guys that, because I haven't actually tested that between, I'm just going off of memory. But this is a character you definitely want to invest into and pull, and because again, while this is being recorded, she's easier to pull than all the other characters. It wouldn't hurt you to snag this character because 1, she's a limited, and 2, she's actually good. She hits very hard. She could carry you from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. I know a lot of people think she's only good when attacking core. It is true, she does hit a lot harder when attacking enemies with core, but even if she's not attacking enemies with core, she still does good damage, right? So I would definitely recommend to get you this character. If you know, right now at the time of recording, try your best to get this character, because all the other characters you can get any time of the week, while this character you're gonna have to wait a whole nother year to get her again, and she's really good. So Lilla for now, I'm gonna say Lilla, right? Dorothy, Modernia, and Scarlet. I don't have Scarlet, but Dorothy is a character that is a very good burst 1. It's kind of hard to say, right, when it comes to these characters, because there's not that many good burst 1 units in the game. The only good burst 1s I would say right now are Dorothy, Litter, Volume, Red Hood if we're considering that, and then Tia, but Tia needs to have another burst 1 with her, so I'm not gonna count her. She's a good burst 1, but I'm not gonna count her. Right, so those are like the 4 good burst 1s. Oh, and Summer May Berry, Bay Mary Goddess, right? Or Bay Goddess Mary, the Summer Mary. She is as well, but she's a limited, so you can't even get her until next summer. But Dorothy's definitely a character you're going to want to have. When it comes to bosses, she's going to be the #1 character to really carry you there, just because obviously she increases all allies damage to parts when the last bullet hits while she's transformed. She gives herself the Pierce effect, and the brand effect is what kind of just shreds enemies HP, and then also helps you with mob clearing as well. So this character is really like a must have, must invest into, must build, because this character can literally take you from the beginning of the game with those hard heavy bosses, and even mobs to the end of the game with those hard hitting, hard heavy, hard difficult bosses that you've been struggling with. This character can carry you with that, right? Modernia, again, it's just a glorified version of the Lilla, right? So whatever I was saying about Lilla, it's essentially the same thing about Modernia. The only difference is when Modernia uses her burst skill, she actually gives herself unlimited bullet, and then has extends her line of sight, where she will recognize multiple enemies as one enemy, right? Making it much easier to progress. So obviously I would highly recommend to chase Modernia over Lilla, yes, but the problem is Modernia's a pilgrim, Lilla's a limited who's currently out on a banner with raid up, so it's just easier to get Lilla than it is to get Modernia, right? If you get Lilla, think of it as getting another version of Modernia. That's literally how it is. And then Scarlet, I don't own Scarlet, but Scarlet is the one that has the damn umbrella, Ella, on her head, right? This is this girl right here. I don't own her, so I have a little beef with her. If you're watching and you don't know who I am, I got beef with this character. But yeah, she's a good DPS now. All right, she's a good DPS. She's a great DPS. I'm not gonna like little boy her. She's a very good DPS, don't get me wrong. But yeah, that's it. That's a very good DPS. So if you want a very good DPS, you want Scarlet, right? She can carry you from the beginning to the end of the game. I'm gonna just put it like that, right? Those are simple characters that you need to invest into. I'm not gonna mention some of these other, I mean, I guess Summer Anise, right? I feel like by the time Summer Anise comes back, though, if you're watching this video on recording, or if you're a veteran player, you either already have this character, or by now you don't even need this character, right? They've dropped way too many good DPSs from when she released up until now, to the point where I don't even think this is like a must-have character anymore, right? Back then it was, because there wasn't many characters to like really compete with, but I don't know why, but literally after this character dropped, they dropped like 20 godly DPSs. Not really 20, but they dropped Red Hood, Lilla, A2, 2B, right? They had some pretty good hard-hitting characters right after this character. And with all the current characters in the game, I don't know if you're really going to necessarily need this character, but if she does come back and you do pull her, and we don't have any other crazier DPSs, by then the half anniversary is going to happen. By then, maybe New Year's Pilgrim is going to happen. We will wait with just next banner is the New Year's Pilgrim. But this character right here is a character you should invest into. She hits very hard, and the good thing about this character is that she works wonders with the free character we started the video off with, Privity, right? Her best partner is Privity. So by building up Privity, it's literally helping out this character. So if this character reruns, you definitely want to pull this character if you don't have her and invest into her, right? She's definitely a good character. There's just a lot more hard-hitting characters in the game now, right? I'm gonna mention Alice, right? For newer players, not necessarily you, but for veteran players, obviously this is somebody you want to invest into. Again, Alice is one of the hardest hitting characters in the game. When fully invested, it is going to take a kidney to get this character fully invested, if you want me to be honest, but you can do it, trust me. She is a very, very good character though when you fully invest into her. It's nothing like, you fully invest into her and you will see, right? And then there's other good characters like the bunny girls and the school girls, but I'm not going to talk about them because they require you to have another character with them. And I know you're going to be like, so what about Summer Niece? The difference is her character is free, where you have to summon for all 4 of those characters. So it doesn't really make sense for me to say go for Blanc and then talk about how good Blanc is, but you need to have Noir with her as well. And it doesn't make sense for me to say go for Tia and talk about how good Tia is, but then you need to have Naga with her as well, right? The only thing is the schoolgirls do have alternatives, but there's just no point of using them if you're not going to use them together. It's the same thing with the bunny girls, right? But overall, those are really the only characters I would say, right? I mean, you don't necessarily need to invest into Lilla. She's a good character. You don't need to invest into her. You just need to get her skills up, right? That's it. Even level 5 skills is more than enough. My Lilla has been carrying me at level 6, 6, 7. That's nothing, right? Let's be realistic. That's all she's been, like, that's it. 6, 6, 7 is all she's done, and she's carrying me. So you don't really need to invest into her. That's the average build. 5, 5, 5 is the average build for the character. 6, 6, 7 is like what, 60% of the average build, I guess, or 10% higher than the average build. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah, I mean, she's not a character you necessarily need to invest into. She's a good character regardless, right? But yeah, those are the characters I would say you should invest into. These are the characters that are really going to help you shine in the game. Right, I didn't talk about any healers really, because at the end of the day, there's not that many good healers in my opinion that you're going to need to invest into, right? The only good healer that I can think of off the top of my head is the Mary, right? Which is the Mary and Rapunzel really, and then also that's really it, right? And Blanc, right? Blanc is also a very good healer, but again, I'm not talking about Blanc. But Mary and Rapunzel, I don't know, I wouldn't tell you to invest into them at this point of time, right? Just because, again, Rapunzel's a very hard character to pull since she's a pilgrim, and Mary is a character you're not going to see for a while, so it's like, you know what I mean? But there are good healers in the game. I just feel like you need to focus more on your DPS than your healers, right? That's how it is in any game, right? Because at the end of the day, your healers, because there is a timer in this game, you're going to have to rely on your DPS, right? Not your healers. The only time you're going to have to rely on the healer is when it becomes too hard for you and they need to actually start healing you up so that you can stay alive. But if not, right, some of these DPS characters don't even need healers and they'll get the job done even if the boss is very difficult. Look at Red Hood. Red Hood would shred any enemy in the game without having a healer, and not only that, she heals herself, right, on her burst too. So, hey, like literally, a lot of these characters in the game now shred bosses without even needing a healer because they're so powerful. So that's what I think, at least, right? Those are the characters you should invest into. Privity, Lilla, Alice if you're a veteran player, Dorothy, all these characters if you're veteran players, but mainly Alice if you're a veteran player. Everybody else you can invest if you're a new player or veteran, doesn't matter. But Red Hood, Modernia, Scarlet, Modernia, Red Hood, Modernia, Summer Anise, Dorothy, Alice, Lilla, Privity, and then also Scarlet. Those are the characters you should invest into, right? Let me know what you think. It's your boy Zxous, and I'm out. Peace.